Peace and love, everyone. We're back again with another live stream, and this week we'll be covering your weekly forecast. We wasn't able to do it yesterday, but we're actually going to do it today, and I'm going to do it a little bit differently. We got a short one for you, so we're going to try to, not keep them as long, and really get into just some key points to look out for this week. And hopefully, this will be of aid to you all. And again, we're going to continue these, and we're kind of in a point where we're going to be wrapping up, getting into the solstice coming up, which is a huge day for our people. You all know it as Christmas, but it's based off of the astronomical phenomena that's taking place. And so we're going to be getting into that in the weeks to come. So hopefully we can get you prepared, especially for our people now. The chosen people, we definitely got to get ready because you are being called to do something great, especially for your people. And right now, you don't have time to be playing. Peace of love, Jim Will, Lakezia, Heaps Mellow, Sister Imam. Peace of love, Kia, Natalie. Good to see you all here. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. Uh, and again, it's not gonna be a long one. Definitely want to cover some things, and based off of the solstice, when it comes, we're gonna be getting into the actual movements of the planetary alignments. We've been covering the snapshots, so we're gonna be diving deeper into the planetary alignments, and so that way we can be in more sync with the universe and the planets to receive those downloads and know when to move and how to move. Um, Peace and love, Sadia Marshall. Okay, and so right off the back, we're gonna really look at the Kundalini energy. Right now, we got Capricorn and Saturn. Um, Saturn rules over Capricorn and Aquarius. Both of these signs are at the base of the chakra, and so where you have on one side, you have Capricorn dealing with the lesson of learning how to be grateful for the friends that you have and the networks that you have. You do have Venus and Pluto in Capricorn, so right now you can be viewed as tough to work with for my Capricorns, and that's because or partly because you have this drive to climb the mountain and you have this drive to achieve and to have success by any means necessary. And when you're climbing this mountain, sometimes you have these rough edges that you have to go up to. So you have to adapt and become rough yourself. And so sometimes dealing with other people that can make you rough. So that's how they can perceive you. Um, Even if you are that way, that's how they can look at you. And so where you have Venus there, they can you can really benefit from this by learning to appreciate those that's in your close inner circle. And when you look at the flip side of the chakra, for my Aquarius, you have Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius, and so you have to deal with right now the lessons of the fear of being alone, and doing things by yourself. And this is where it can be, overwhelming. And so you can be overly optimistic at this time when it comes to how you're going to be sympathetic or empathetic towards others. But with Saturn and Aquarius, you have to learn how to set boundaries, healthy boundaries, not only for others, but for yourself. Because sometimes those expectations that you have for others can let you down. And then that electricity, activates because Aquarius is a air sign, is all about electricity. And so this is where you can begin to shock people and shock yourself from your actions and your thoughts. So that's where you're going to really want to focus on. And for my moving up the ladder, so we're going from the base and now we're going to the sacral, and we're looking at Sagittarius and Pisces. And so for my Sagittarius, this is Sagittarius season, and you want to make sure you try to pinpoint exactly who you are, because that's important, especially as you're going to venture out into different careers and different lines of employment. So you got to ask yourself, who are you? Who are you at your core, and who you're becoming? Because you can never do enough to be who you're destined to be. And what I mean by that is A lot of times we get into the actions of doing, 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 and you're never in the moment and becoming. Okay, so a lot of times you go through the motions and you can put on a good act, but you're not actually being the thing that you're trying to be. So that's especially with going on this quest for you, Sagittarius. This has been an adventure, so you definitely need to hone in on who you are to become, so you don't waste your arrows. For my Pisces, you got to really tap into your uh, psychic abilities and tap into your creative skills, because you have a lot of um, creations sitting within you, and you got to really let your emotions guide you. You have Neptune home and you have Palace there as well, both direct, so this gives you a great sense of power, okay, especially at the angle that these planets are at, so you can really get things done. You got a lot of strength right now. You just got to actually activate it and use it, and not have your energy dispersed. So as we go up to the solar plexus, now we're looking at my Aries and Scorpio. And so for my Scorpio, you got to really try to delve deeper into the information, the schools of thoughts that you are participating in. And this will help strengthen and develop your will, because you need that at this time if you're going to actually use that tail to sting your target. And for my Aries, this is where you need to tap into what's your source of confidence. Okay, is it the fiat? Is it the your values? What is actually feeding your ego? Because the things that you think are feeding your ego could actually be detrimental to your whole existence. So that's what you're going to be tapping into, because going in circles is actually going to kill your confidence. So this is what you need to tap into. Um, and then when we look at the heart chakra, this is my Taurus and my um, Libra. Okay, Taurus and Libras, you are ruled by Venus. So this is your heart chakra. And for my Taurus, this is the need to express unconditional love to those in your closest circle. So this could be where you have short journeys or travels, going to market or stores, or siblings. This is having that unconditional love and releasing that fear, letting go of not being afraid of being hurt. Okay, because this is the heart chakra, so you're opening up your heart chakra to those closest to you, but you're doing it in a practical way, so you won't be too overextended. And for my Libras, this is all about letting go again of loss, because there was a lot of loss that you've been going through over a cycle. And this is actually prepping you to clear the way for what's about to come. So for both my Taurus and uh, Libra, you're both dealing with letting go of something that's blocking you, blocking the heart chakra, so you can receive something different. It doesn't necessarily have to be better, just something different at this time. Okay, so for my throat chakra, you're looking at your uh, uh, um, Virgo, and we're also looking at Gemini. So when we're looking at Virgo and Gemini, for my Geminis, this is learning how to speak the truth in love, because sometimes, especially in the home, when people piss you off, you could literally just start going off, and it can take you in a place that you wasn't planning on going down. So a path that you wasn't planning on going down. So I would caution you to think the best in those scenarios, and then really try to speak truth to the situation by doing it in love. um Speaking truth in love doesn't mean that you always have to be right. Sometimes you got to know when to be quiet. So for my flip side of the throat chakra, for my Virgos, you are natural healers, nurturers, and so this is all about learning how to use your throat chakra to uplift and to heal through your words. Okay, and sometimes you speak from the gut, and this is where you got to learn how to speak from the throat chakra to be able to heal people that way. So, and then lastly, we're looking at the brow chakra, and this is where you're looking at Cancer and Leo. And for my Cancers, you're learning how to literally nurture your creations and nurture your baby. So for those who are pregnant or just had a baby or will be having a baby soon, or you might have a project as your baby, you got to be careful and not allow this baby or other people to act as abortion experts, because you can't share the project or creation that you're actually working on. And you have to um, you know, keep it private as much as possible until it's actually about to come into fruition. So some people will have a tendency to be experts in abortion and take out your baby. So just protect it, just like a mother would. Okay, and this can be in a fun, creative way, whatever it is. But use your perception to really discern how you're going to go about doing this. And for my Leos, you definitely got to lead the way for not just Leos, but for all of us, all of the zodiac signs. This is where you're receiving all of the light rays naturally, because the sun rules over Leo. It rules over all of the signs, but it's placed under the Leo sign. And this is where humanity is about to go through a deep purge. And well, it is going through a deep purge and change. And Leos, you're actually leading the way for that. So, um, you're the leader of the zodiac, so protect humanity and lead the way of how we should shift our paradigm. Okay, so this is what we're going to be experiencing. Well, this is what some of you have already experiencing now. Peace of love, FIFO, Alicia M, uh, Louis Tahaka. Okay, you say you're working on your throat chakra, and we should be taking into account all three of our signs here. That's right. So sun, moon, and rising sign. And then when you want to look at the way that you love, you can look at the Venus sign. You want to look at the way that you solve problems or think. Look at Mercury. You want to look at the way that you strategize. Look at Mars. Hey, Carissa Paul. Peace of love, awake I am. And so I know you probably thinking, well, why are we just covering, you know, the six chakras? Why we're not going higher or deeper? We just this is a foundation, and so the six chakras here are all based off of the sun and the rest of its relation to the planets. So we have all the planets here, and then you look at the crown chakra. That's based off of Sothis or Sirius. So, and then when we start getting deeper into that, we'll look into that. But I want to just build a foundation. So today, Dogon Day. This was basically a day of spiritual activities and rest, cleansing. So you had on this day a lot of activity taking place. Um, but before we get there, let's look at also the north and south node of the moon. The north and south node of the moon is where you have uh, the North Node in Gemini. So that for my Geminis, you can actually work on your communication skills, effective communication. Just because you speak doesn't mean you're an effective communicator. So working on effective tools for communicating, expressing yourself, being present in the moment when somebody's speaking to you. Um, that's what the North Node is pushing you towards. When you look at the South Node in Sagittarius, it's pushing you away from being the know-it-all and cutting right to the chase. It's learning how to appreciate the moment. So, and then when you look at Palace, Palace is direct and it's in is joined with Neptune in Pisces. So a lot of diplomacy when it comes to finding out and balancing your sacral, okay, your confidence. So this is what that means. So this is what we're looking at when we see these things. Carissa Powell says, I'm actually a certified Reiki healer. Okay, yeah. So there you go. You can use that to help build your people up even more and heal them. So that's great. And then because today you had two planets shift into two different signs. So you had Mars ingress into Sagittarius. Ingress means freely traveling into the sign or constellation of Sagittarius. And then you had Mercury did an ingress into Capricorn. So where you have your actions now shaping up to line up with your vision, And then you also have your mind lining up with your goals, okay, with others. And so today is an ideal day to start projects. You got the moon in Aries, is trining the sun in Sagittarius, and then there's also squaring Pluto in Capricorn and it's squaring Venus in Capricorn. So it's giving you enough friction or conflict to really take this situation or this effort seriously so that you can plan accordingly and plan wisely to go forward. So today was more about a day of rest and cleansing because these planets were shifting and now you're actually getting deep into that. Um, Carissa Powell says, those are both of my placements exactly. Love it. Great. Okay. So now you can actually work on that. Okay. So that's what's going to happen moving forward this week. You have Tuesday, the 14th. This is the Dogon Day 5. So this is a day about honoring your ancestors. Um, Actually, you can do pour out libation. You can give offerings to your ancestors, things like that. Um, and we know how this works where you have the physical realm, but you also have the realm beyond this. So for people dogmatic, this isn't for you. This is for the chosen, the people who can hear this at this time. So you got the moon that will be moving into Taurus on Tuesday. Tuesday is ruled by Mars. And so when the moon shifts to Taurus, it'll actually be in a trine placement to Mercury and Capricorn. So now you can really think and plan in detail your goals with the group and the collective. The moon in Taurus also will be squaring Saturn and Aquarius. So again, just because you are working with other people, you got it inked in paper now, you still have to set boundaries. This is where the contracts come into play. Setting healthy boundaries that will be mutually beneficial for everybody. So no adhesions, no um, hiding stuff in the contract, or even if you're forming a will or a trust or some type of legal document, everything will be fully disclosed. And then you also have the moon and Taurus that will be conjunct Uranus. Okay, so with the moon conjunct Uranus and Taurus, that's going to give you a lot of uh, excitement and desire and need to um, activate and use all this energy that you're getting. Um, and then when we fast forward and look at Wednesday, you're going to actually be looking at another Dogon day. This is 5, and this is all about your spiritual activities. So this is where it can really start to pick up again. You can really get into your art, um, finances more, you know, things that's ruled by Mercury. So commerce, trade, studying, learning, all these things are favored on this day of Wednesday, ruled by Mercury. And you're going to have this moon in Taurus going to be conjunct Uranus in Taurus, shaking up things in your community. Okay. Um, and you think of uranium. So uranium literally will help blow things up or get things, started. So this is what Uranus will help you to do, help you to make those moves for those who are slow moving. Like you got Taurus, that's the bull, so you can be very slow moving when it comes to the projects or endeavors. And so Uranus, uranium, this will help get that spark plug. And then you also have the moon in Taurus will be sextile Neptune and Pisces. So when it comes to your imagination, plus this Kundalini spark, okay, these downloads, this will actually help you on Wednesday to get things done. And then on Thursday, this is the 16th. This is where it's going to be a huge day, um, a big day, okay? This is going to be a huge day because the moon in Taurus is going to be in a trine with Pluto. Pluto is in Capricorn and Venus, which is in Capricorn. And this is going to be very huge because you're going to be able to work together with other people and really make a huge jump, a huge push forward. But then on the flip side, you look at the moon in Taurus, it's going to have a T square to Mars and to um, it's going to have a Mars and Sag, and then also Jupiter and Aquarius. So uh, that's going to be tough. And then right before the moon actually leaves and go to the sign of Gemini, you're gonna have all of this stuff taking place, and then you're gonna have Mars. It's gonna be in the moon is gonna be in an opposition. Moon and Gemini are gonna be in an opposition to Mars and Sagittarius. So it's gonna be a tough one on Thursday to really try to pick things up and get things going. So just got to be prepared, look out for that. Now that you know, you don't got to start cussing people out when you know what's happening. So on Friday, again, this is a day for you to either relax because the full moon is coming, and so you can relax and allow your work to, be exposed, or you could continue to work. Definitely not a good time to start anything new on Friday. Day ruled by Venus, but it's not a good time. The moon in Gemini is going to be sextile in Chiron and Aries. And Chiron and Aries is a little bit happier because it has a home placement feel. But then you got to also look at the moon in Gemini is going to be in a trine to Saturn and Aquarius. So very favorable for, really writing things down, getting things done, getting it on paper, finalized. Because a lot of times you carry your thoughts and your goals in your head, and that's not effective. But this is a good time to really evaluate those things right before the full moon. Because if you get into the full moon energy and you're not utilizing it well, you're just going to feel really bad. Plus, you're about to have Venus go retrograde, so it's not going to be good either way. So, and then on Saturday, normally I would say relax before the moon is full, because you're going to have the full moon in Gemini is going to be squaring Neptune and Pisces, and your perception, your uh, imaginative skills, or your imagination is going to be stifled a little bit because you're going to be in conflict with what you're trying to do versus what you desire to do. And then you're going to also have this opposition, uh moon in Gemini opposite the sun in Sagittarius, so those 180 degrees away. So um we're gonna have to figure out what works best for you and for everybody. And then also looking at this trine, for those who will be working late night, this will be a good placement for you because you will have an opportunity to get things done late. If you This is for all my late nighters or night owlers. This is going to be for you. And then when you have Mercury and Capricorn, it's going to be in a square to Chiron. So now those feelings of am I doing the right thing again when it comes to the finances, because it's coming in quick and going out. Now you're going to have this added square because now you got to actually work in a different direction than what you were already doing. Okay. Um, Hugh Mello says, I am at that place and coming out of it, but am Taurus. Okay, that's great, Heath Mellows. I'm happy for you. Just keep it up because this week and next week is all about pruning and get you ready for what's to come. And then again on Sunday, Venus going to go retrograde, and Chiron is going to come direct. So Venus is going to go retrograde. Uh, it's going to bring up a lot of old memories. So all of the things that you thought you should have accomplished or should have done or should have gotten or should have had advancements in, then this is really not going to be, you know, the time to do that, because Venus will bring those emotions out. And then plus you're going to have the moon entering into Cancer, so there's going to be extra added emotions. And then the moon in Cancer is going to be square in Chiron that just went direct in Aries, so you going to build that confidence, but it's still going to be tested. This is going to be a huge test. You're going to have the moon in Cancer that's going to be opposing Mercury and Capricorn, so the emotions will be at odds with your thinking. But you will have the sun in Sagittarius sextile Jupiter in Aquarius, so you may be able to lean on others or to depend on reliable people to help you through the situation if this gets out of hand. So this is what you're pretty much looking at coming up. And you want to make sure that with this Venus retrograde, it doesn't get too out of hand for you as far as going backwards, because Um, if you go backwards now, you're going to have to do extra work before the fiscal um, new year. So, do we have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Oh, and especially speaking on, I know we asked the question. Brother asked a question yesterday about crypto. Somebody else just asked me about that too. Um, Basically, just take this into consideration. Whenever Joe Biden speaks, the market uh, crumbles. Okay, so I don't know if that would be necessarily beneficial for you when you're talking about gold and silver, Ethereum, uh, platinum, and things like that. Investing in that, and whenever he speaks, it goes that the market goes down. So that's just it's telling you what this is about. Heaps Mellow says, "How does this thing look for traveling? Is it safe?" Um, yes. So I would say once Mercury moves into Sagittarius, then um, I'm sorry, Capricorn, then you'll be fine once it makes that ingress. But anytime the planets are going to have this void of course effect, then um, you know it's not a good time to start new things and things like that. Louis Taharka says, "What is the medallion you're wearing?" This is this is the moon phase, this is the crescent, and this is the full moon, and it's Venus inside as well. This is the woman, uh, what is based off of Venus, the Venus calendar. And so, the Dogon or the Olmec, I'm sorry, the Olmec or the mirrors, they actually use the calendar system based off of Venus that they said ended in 2012. Um, so that's what this is. And then, yep, so. Yes, did you read the Cancer? Yeah, yeah. So cancers, that's as far as your chakra. Cancer, you are nursing your baby, whether it's a project or a physical baby, or you're pregnant, you are actually going about creative ways for your baby. Peace of love, Larry Green. Good to see you. Peace of love, Ellie Vargas. Is the magnetic field of the earth shifting? Yes, it is shifting. And we know that there's a difference between true node and uh, the true node and the uh, north node. So the true node actually dealing with the actual planetary movement and alignment, and then you have the node that's projected. So yes, they shift all the time. Everything on the chart in the chart is moving or is in motion, and that's one of the laws of the universe. The law of uh, motion. Okay. Oh, thanks for reminding me, Heath Mellows. Yes, so the different, doing something different tonight as far as that. Let's look at we're gonna do a card, an oracle card for each sign. So for my Capricorns, this is learning how to experience all that life has to offer you. And if you look at how monkeys, I know y'all might feel a certain type of way because we don't come from monkeys, but just giving you a spirit totem or animal. Um, Look at how the monkeys interact within their community as how they build together and work together. So that's what you have to embody, or you should embody this energy this week, building within a community and using intelligence when you build. Okay. And for my Aquarius, this is the sheep, the totem of the sheep. This is where you need to act with fortitude and cooperation. Um, while you're working with groups and with other people, learning how to cooperate best, coming and approaching it in a peaceful manner will actually help you. Okay, as we go up, the Kundalini moves up for my uh, Pisces. We're looking at the dog. Okay, uh, And you might say, dog, well, the dog is, is a good thing. It's a totem. Now, we know that on this landmass, some people hold animals' lives more important than human lives, but we know that animals have their place, okay? But when we look at the dog, this is where you're looking at the dog stars, okay? Sothis and Septet, or Sirius A and Sirius B, as some say. And the dog is teaching you to be more disciplined in your home and in your community. For my Pisces, you're definitely going to need that discipline because you are getting some major downloads, some serious um, downloads as far as your creativity. So you definitely want to put that to use, and just look at how the dogs are able to be friendly as they're putting their projects together. Or as you're putting your projects together, embrace this energy so that you can really get further ahead. And for my Sagittarius, you have the wolf, independence. Okay, yes, you can be independent, but you still have to work together. When you look at the wolf is not. There's a leader. There's always going to be a leader of the pack. And right now, for my Sagittarius, the sun is in Sagittarius, so you're leading the pack in that way. So just think of ways that once you have this position of authority, how you can lead the pack with pride. So when we continue to move up, now we're looking at Aries and Scorpio. So for Aries, this is the hedgehog. This is where you have to learn how to be a magnet for light and joy. And it's funny because this whole age of Aquarius is about electricity and magnetism. So when you look at that black and white field, the black field, the potential energy, and the white field, the kinetic energy. So you're looking at Aries learning how to really embrace this um, magnetic energy, tapping into that feminine energy, really tapping into this presence of the universe, this gift of the universe. So that's what my Aries is really going to start to embody this week. And then for my Scorpios, this is the parrot. Okay. And the parrot is all about listening intently. Okay. I know we know parrots, parrot or copy or repeat, but parrots, in order to do that, they have to listen intently. So maybe you're not listening well enough. This is for my Scorpios. Um, they're very intelligent, and this is where you're actually going through a learning phase right now. So, uh, really just learning how to listen intently. Okay, listen to the details. That's for uh, my Scorpios. And then as we make our way up, now we're looking at Taurus and Libra. And as we look at Taurus, this is the butterfly. Okay, you have to be ready to transform with wisdom. Okay, ready to transform with wisdom. And butterflies go through a death, rebirth, and regeneration phase. So that's what you're actually going through for my Taurus, this transformation. And butterflies are so important. They are very potent because with the flap of their wings, they can affect the entire universe. Okay, and that's what you have to do. No big work or activity will actually, um, do it for you. It could be something small. Okay, we don't have to always shoot to do something big to make a change. So it can be something small. So just take that into consideration in practical ways. So for my Libras, this is all about the giraffe. Okay, the giraffe is where they have these long necks, and they have long necks for a reason. They have to learn how to aspire for higher knowledge, how to reach for higher um, wisdom, and that's what you're actually having to embody this week. There's, we know the scales. It's an inanimate object, and it's all about making sure things are balanced. But sometimes when we have negative or darkness, quote unquote, we think that that's bad. But when you have harmony, there is chaos at the same time. So this is where you learn to reach higher. When we look at our throat chakra for my Virgo and for my uh, Geminis, this is for my Gemini. This is the panda. Okay, you have to stay balanced in your essence. You can't let anybody throw you off. You can't let yourself throw you off. Sometimes you can be in your mind and your head so long that you begin to doubt and you begin to attack yourself. Um, and so you got to really embrace the panda, okay? Be balanced in your mind and in your thoughts. And sometimes as Geminis, you can really get out and be so active in many different things that you got to learn how to sit still and um, you know, be silent, okay? And this is where your thoughts begin to um, you can begin to try to get control of those thoughts and let them flow in meditation. And for my Virgos, this is the ladybug. This is where my Virgos need to accept happiness, accept the happiness that's presented to you or offered to you by the universe. You got good fortune right before you. You just got to look at how you're seeing it. Okay. Uh, and then for my cancers, this is the brow chakra, this is the raven. Okay, so this is preparing for change, going deeper into the mystic arts. This is going into the mystic realm. Again, ravens are intelligent, um, and you have a lot of intelligence that you're offered, a lot of creativity that you're offered right now, and so you can really tap into that and go into the occult and add that to your creativity. And for my Leos, this is where you're embodying the bears. This is where you have to use the power within. We know about Polaris. The North Star, what the quote unquote slaves use to guide them to freedom. And right now, Leos, you're leading humanity or the zodiac to freedom in their paradigm shift through the brow chakra. So for my bears, you literally have to embody that bear. You're fierce. You got to attack it with courage and strength, and you're getting your leadership authority from the constellation through this constellation, this portal opening up, giving you this authority to rule with power and rule with um, wisdom. Okay, it's not a dictatorship. Is when you're a great leader, you're not afraid of other people leading. So the bear knows its own strength and it can attack at will, and it can surprise you. It does many different things. So just like the bear leads or led a lot of our ancestors to freedom, so shall you. And this is what you are to embody this week. So, do you have any questions for anybody covering that? Anybody have any other questions? Okay. Peace and love, Wanda. Peace and love, Marva. BB says, what do you see for Aquarius January 26th? I'm in a transition, but I think it will turn out good. January 26th. Um, okay. Well, I think that for my Aquarius, um, yeah, just cooperation will definitely help you and benefit you. Um, Ellie Vargas says, as a child, I never remember seeing the moon out during the day. Is that new? No, the moon has always been there. Well, you can always see it when it's in its different phases, or especially when it's growing. You may still see portions of it when the sun is out. So, yeah, that's nothing new. The only time that you may not see uh, the moon is when it's new. All right. Any other questions? All right. So I hope this was able to help. And okay, we got another question. Peace and love, SR. Daniel Kate says, is a war coming? What kind of war? There's many different types of war. And if you haven't noticed, there's already been a war waged against humanity by colonizers. There's a biological warfare going on, psychological warfare, um, genetic war. It's so many different types of war. And then you also look at menticide, research menticide. That's actually taking place as we speak right now. China, Russia. Well, they're talking about that, but would it be beneficial for war? That's the question. Would it be beneficial to China and Russia to actually have a physical war. Um, China is now the world power, so they're setting up military bases and they're actually mining the earth to help build their plants and things like that. So it wouldn't really be that beneficial to have that physical war. China and Australia is having that issues, but it's three scenarios that can play out with that. Um, but there's already war going on. War in the sky, and in the water, under the earth is all going on right now, and it's over your estate. If you are more, that's you are one of us. I don't know. I can't see you, so yep. Yes, we are in a position to rise again. Yes. So like when the so-called serfs or slaves was freed, um, after that period, they still went through a period of rebuilding, in a sense, and that's where we're at now. But our people still think, or some of us still think, that things will return to how it was before everything shut down. So, uh, good luck with that. If you see them falling, you shouldn't be wanting to, realign yourself with that. You should be thinking about the future. Again, by 2045, they're saying that a lot of um, a lot of our people won't be fit for uh, employment for this new magnetic, solar, electric age that's coming, or that's here, I should say. Uh, Daniel K says, last question: are you getting into the metaverse? No. Other spirits seem to be at odds with me, especially Cancer and Sagittarius. Any reason why? So I know how to handle it. Um, and you're an Aquarius, is that right? Yeah. Um, well, it can depend on your placement. It's funny you say that, Cancer and Sagittarius. It depends on the placement in your personal chart. Okay, that's right, SR. We don't want the old system because we don't need. Um, why hold on to something that's fallen? And you know for a fact that they haven't. The evidence shows us that the colonizers that's in power right now, to an extent, over us at least, they have never ruled over 500 years. There's no evidence of that. So their rulership is over right now. You could do this. Count each president. So you have 46 presidents alleged of the corporation, right? And a president serves for 4 years, right? And if they get two terms, that's 8 years. So do the math and uh, give them two terms, 8 years per 46 quote unquote presidents of the corporation. And you'll see that their rulership have not been for 400 years. So I don't know why they keep lying and promoting that lie, saying that we've been enslaved for 400 years plus, and that's not true. They haven't been ruling that long, and that's why we give them credit, because you have taken over the world in short amount of time. Um, but you also are losing. You lost the world in a short amount of time too. So that's what you're known for. You're known for that, and so that's what's actually happening now. Okay, and so um, you know but you still got our people that wants to be sitting up underneath them as this thing goes down for them. But that's the beauty of it, because they will need you once again, just like they needed us in 7-11, 7-10, 7-11. They needed us again during that time, and they will need us again coming up. So, but they're not going to need us ignorant and not knowing our science, and that's the thing. So that's where we actually need to look towards, teaching our future generations and children of the science that we once held to build mounds, pyramids, um, and other things. And that's what my focus has been on. That's where I'm actually trying to, do my part and teach those who are willing, who desire to learn, because some of our people, they're just not going to get it or see it, and that's fine too, because they have been born under certain rays of the sun that makes it that way. So they chose to be they are the creator, and they chose to experience this, in this lifetime that way. So you can't get mad at that. So what we can do is just work with those who are willing, and we know that, um, they're not going to continue to rule like they have been ruling. That's out the door. So we're not going to get caught up in that train. Okay, so that's why, people say, well, why do you guys keep, you know trying to build something or do something? Well, we can't continue to allow or think that other people are going to do something for ourselves. So that's why. That's right, Natalie. And SR says they are at war with each other as well right now. Exactly. FBI fighting the CIA, the feds fighting the state. Everybody's at war. West Virginia citizens, quote unquote, are fighting their corporate de facto, um, governor. Everybody is moving. We're moving into solar, and they're still investing in coal because they are in it for themselves. They have objectified themselves. They have objectified everyone in nature, everything in nature, and separated themselves from nature. So um, they don't see things the way we see it. So, and that's fine. But you can't get caught up in that, because that's not how you're designed. You are subjective. You are a part of nature, and so um, you're one with nature. Even in your ignorance, you still have the DNA of your ancestors who once knew that. You forgot, but you're starting to remember, especially with this gateway, this portal opening up, and then especially when we're going to enter into, like we always do, the galactic center of the universe at 27 degrees of Sagittarius. Okay, so that's coming up as well. So I'm uh, not concerned with a lot of that stuff. Um, when you look at negative birth rates, that's for a reason. Okay, so nature is at work, but also we got to also do work as well. So may your soul find satisfaction. In other words, Hotep, peace and much love, everybody. See you next time.